have losses, so they're worthless to me. Well, I've just proved to you that that's wrong. But also, sometimes they just don't want their spouse to know about all the losses that they have in the marketplace. I run into that too. And I'll say to people, you know what, bite the bullet on that one, because we really want to house this all. So the next thing is report your clients. How much do you think you're working with clients today who maybe have got some offshore accounts and they're not reporting them? Yeah, maybe a couple. Okay, so that's a bad thing too. We have something called, first of all, the T1135 form, and that's the foreign income verification form. If you own assets valued in Canadian dollars more than $100,000, and even if it's a piece of real estate in Florida or Hawaii or whatever, and you buy it on VRBO, you know, it's doing a pretty good rental business for you, and it turns out that more than 50% of the time it's a rental property. Well, you have to file that T1135 return whether or not you are actually filing a T1 return, because that return comes with its own penalties, and the penalties can be as high as 5% of the value of your property. And if you've got a multiple $100,000 or $1 million property down the States, do the math on that. It's a bad idea not to file that form. So at year end, we want to get people caught up on that. And of course, you want to take advantage of every tax deduction and credit. I'll mention a few of them. And you want to make sure that you understand that your installment payments are due as well between now and December 15th. Well, you know, if you could let your client know that maybe you didn't have to make that December 15th installment payment. Maybe you've paid enough. And maybe it is that if you save that money, that you can take your family on an impromptu trip. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? Because we find the classic mistake that people make with their quarterly installment remittances, and they take money out of the market just at the wrong time to pay those taxes, is that if their income has gone down during the year, they may not have to make that quarterly installment. Because CRA is looking, when they're billing you, at your income from the prior year. And so if your income has gone down, and you know that, and you happen to mention to your clients, you know what, you should check with your tax accountant, because it's possible you don't have to make that December 15th installment. And if you have that money sitting around, and it's been, you know, one of the reasons why you haven't been able to insure yourself properly, or make some of the investments that we wanted to make, wouldn't it be wonderful for us to find that out now and then leverage that money into something that's going to give you some tax benefits? Another thing we like to do at this time of the year is we want to do interspousal loans. We want to transfer assets from the higher income earning spouse to the lower income earning spouse, which we know we can't do because of what rules? Does anyone know what the technical term is? Yes, thank you. The attribution rules do not allow us to do that. But instead, what we can do is we can draw up a bona fide loan between husband and wife, and we can therefore transfer assets legitimately from one to the other, and then the transfer, or as long as they are receiving the interest payment on this bona fide loan by 30 days after the end of the year, which is January 30th, not January 31st, and recording that interest in the hands of the transferee recourse, you know what I mean. The two parties have to properly report and deduct, then you're going to get the right tax results. Now, you have to charge interest at least the prescribed rates, which for this quarter are 2%, and that's a very good interest rate. It's for the life of the loan, and we are expecting 3 other interest rate hikes potentially in 2019. So drawing up those interspousal loans is going to be really important. Now, what are we looking at in terms of indexing for 2019? This is really important as well, because we want to understand whether or not our clients are in clawback zones. So those clawback zones are in that 20.5 tax bracket, 25.5% tax rate, and the bracket is between approximately $46,000 and $93,000 for 2018, and you'll see it's between $47,000 and about $95,000 for 2019. So how does that affect you? If you are the one who is actually helping people withdraw money that's your option. Are you going to withdraw it this year? Are you going to hold it over to next year when income at the lowest tax bracket or at the middle tax bracket has gone up? Because of indexing, maybe we're going to make a slightly different decision. Another reason why we want to look at that zone very carefully is that's the clawback zone for things like Canada Child benefits or old age security benefits. In fact, clawbacks begin at $75,000 this year. And so if we can avoid having a clawback of old age security because we're creating income within the proper ceiling levels, then that becomes a very important planning technique. For those of you who are working with high net worth clients or clients who are trying to figure out if they're going to take salary or bonus or dividends out of their small business corporation, then they hit the top federal tax rate at $205,000, and next year that's going to go up to about $210,000. So, we might make a decision to take a little bit less between now and the end of the year, a little bit more at the start of the year. So we have some discretion around how we're creating income. And so knowing those tax brackets is very important. Of course, we add the provincial tax brackets to that. Now the top tax bracket, once we get over $205,000, we're paying tax at 33%, but it's not the only place we start paying 33% on our income. Of course, tax on split income is something new for certain members of the family. It used to apply just on kiddie tax, dividends that we gave to minor children. We used to record that on a form, an obscure form now called a T1206 on Schedule 1 of the tax return. And most of us forgot about it over the last couple of years because we were not doing income splitting with minor children in general. But as of January 1st, 2018, if you can show that your family member has worked actively in the business, and what that means is at least 20 hours a week for any 5-year period, and if they don't have an appropriate level of risk invested in the business, then what you're going to find is that if you are giving dividends to those non-active family members, they are going to be paying tax at 33% rates. Here's the kicker on that. It's from $1. So what we do is we extract those dividends, those distributions from the regular tax return. We put it on this form 1206, and from $1 you're paying 33% federal tax. Very, very expensive. No progressivity. So we want to make sure that we're talking to business owner clients. If they're putting off their visit to their tax accountant between now and the end of the year, they absolutely need to do that. There's another reason, and that's because the way we calculate small business deduction in a private corporation is going to change as of January 1st, 2019. What we're going to see is a clawback of that small business deduction if passive investment earnings within the corporation exceed $50,000. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that in a moment. The other place we see 33% tax rates is in inter-vivos trusts or post-GRE estates, that's graduated rate estates. As you know, when somebody passes away, income and the estate basically is protected for 36 months on graduated rates. After that, we go to a flat tax at 33%. The only bright spot in this list, I wanted to highlight those two, but if you are making charitable donations between now and the end of the year, then if your income is over $205,000 and you're paying that 33% rate, then on that proportion of the donation that is equal to that income over that amount, we get a 33% tax credit on your donation with equivalent provincial tax credits. Donation planning strategies are very important for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you have winners in your non-registered accounts and you decide that you're going to fund your favorite charity by transferring shares to your favorite charity, you can avoid capital gains completely, and you can get the donation receipt as well. That's an incredibly wonderful strategy. I also want to tell you it's important for another reason that I've just recently become aware of. It's really sort of gelled in my mind. I talk about family planning a lot, but recently a lot of clients have told me that they are working with families that have strategic philanthropy becomes a much more important part of your conversation, because for those people, their money is actually going to be left to the community, and they're going to be able to make some gifts during their lifetime and of course at death. And they want you to have this conversation with them. So we're pleased to be having a new designation program around the issue of strategic philanthropy in the new year, because that's a new reality. I'm sorry about the small screen here. These are the clawback zones on old age security and EI. The people who pay the highest marginal rates of tax in Canada are actually not the people who earn more than $205,000. They are actually people who have income in the clawback zones. As income goes up, the benefits they get from the government goes down. We talked about old age security, where you lose access to OAS when your income individually hits about $124,000. Next year, 2019, we're going to see a clawback starting at around $77,000 because of indexing. But what that means is like two parties can actually each earn $77,000 before old age security is clawed back. But with OAS, there's another thing we can do, and that is we can postpone it to age 70. Now, why would you want to do that? But if your income is always going to be in the over the clawback range, over $123,000, $124,000, in the next couple of years, you're going to lose your old age security anyway. You may as well postpone it to age 70 and instead take other taxable income sources. Melt down your RSP or melt down dividends out of your private corporation. That makes a lot of sense. And in the meantime, as long as you're healthy, of course, you're going to get a 36% bump in your old age security monthly pension. Most people don't know about that. It adds about $200, $250 to your monthly pension, and that's an incredibly smart thing to do. So if you know high income earners who probably should be melting down their RSPs or their private corporation dividends in order to preserve some repayment, avoid repayment of their old age security, that's something you should be telling them to see their accountant about. If you know of people who are working seasonally and they're regular EI recipients, and their net income is over about $64,000, they face a really expensive tax. And this is important for small business owners who are deciding to dividend out monies to their offspring who are otherwise seasonally unemployed, because when you do too much of that and income goes over $64,000, the repayment of the EI that they're receiving during the year is at a repayment rate of 30%, and that's an expensive tax. So those people are going to have to repay their EI at the end of the year, and most people don't anticipate that. There is a line of defense, though, and that is that if you can get the person who's receiving the EI benefits to make an RSP contribution to get their net income under the clawback zone, then you can preserve all of their EI benefits for them. Something new coming down the pipe is carbon taxes. Well, in our province and in yours, I hail from Manitoba, we have been holdouts, and that is we have not agreed with the way that the federal government is implementing carbon taxes. So just last week I had to add this slide because the feds have said, well, we're going to impose it as of April 1st anyway, but what we're going to do is we're going to give taxpayers in these four provinces a rebate in advance for the extra tax they're going to have to pay to fill up their cars and to heat their homes. And so here in Ontario, for a taxpayer, it's going to be the first taxpayer $154 for the eligible dependent, which is an equivalent to spouse amount, or the spouse is going to be $77 and then $38 for your other dependents. And that's going to be a refundable rebate for filing your 2018 tax return. It's going to be called the Climate Action Incentive. So your clients are not going to know what this is, but their families are going to get this extra rebate on their tax return. Tell them that